All right, we are back, everybody. So, Rook,
Oh,
hold up,
week.
hold up.
Hmm?
For some reason, my Twitch decided that it was going to actually play audio today, so there was a little bit of feedback. Sorry about that, everybody.
Sweet. All right. Last week, our magnificent bastards had some intense, consequential conversations. First up was Victor and Quinn, the possessed man, who had some polite tea together. They make what seems to be a soft agreement due to the danger to Quinn to arrange to have Quinn possess Oliver Cullen, the MI5 lieutenant in charge of surveilling our team. Everyone else was at the hospital visiting Cecil, still recovering from internal injuries from the ghost-inhabited house. Nora kept an eye on her cameras inside that house, seeing bald shadows with red eyes and unique faces moving around. The teenagers that Nora and Vanessa spoke to previously show up at the house, bringing in lanterns and a mirror to conduct that ritual game. Cecil is horrified, but helpless in his hospital bed. Rick uses a burner phone to send emergency services to the house to try to save the kids. Nora and Vanessa are excited about watching the ghostly house eat the kids. By the time the police arrive at the house, the kids are gone because they were setting things up for later in the evening. Victor called Rick and set up a dinner meeting with the cell in his manor, and then attempted to ward the dinner room to prevent any spying by the psychic MI5 agents. Rick talked his way onto the helicopter airlifting Cecil to a London hospital, and then joins the team at Victor's manor, where Victor took great delight in serving them a French dish that I won't even try to pronounce, consisting of octopus tentacles and blue-colored salmon. Over dinner, the cell was informed of Victor's plan to have Quinn possess Lieutenant Cullen, and Rick made a suggestion that the possessed MI5 lieutenant could then be used to investigate our cell's competitors. Nora looked in again on her cameras in the haunted house. The kids were laying down, motionless, but one of them was levitating. Nora watched with excitement. One of the house's red-eyed shadows took a human-shaped mist out of the levitating body, which then the body fell to the floor. She saw the mist lose its hair, its eyes turn red, and then it disappeared like the other house ghost shadows. The bodies in the house slowly disappeared, and the wounds the cell inflicted on the house were healed. Over the next week, Cecil healed enough to get out of the hospital and start walking around. Nathan took care of his daughter, Rick handled the paperwork to get his helicopter out of impound, and handed off the dossier on the werebear to his contact, Victor. However, Victor, however, then went to talk to Jacob the werebear and told him and his fiancée that more people were coming for them and that they should leave. And Victor brought with him a suitcase full of cash to help them on their way, and then leaves it there even though Jacob tried to refuse. It appeared that Jacob and his fiancée were able to leave, and the dossier that Rick gave his contact was now useless. The cell tried to investigate the ghosts in the house. We mostly failed, but we did learn the ghost's anchor, the game itself. Not the house, but the abstract game. In response, the newly healed Cecil went to camp at the house to prevent more kids from being killed and enslaved by the ghosts.
So, shall we pick back up where we left off? I do believe the cell wanted to perform a monster lore, if I recall that correctly.
Yes.
Yeah, I think we decided we had enough information about what this thing was and what it's tied to start digging deeper into the lore of it itself.
A logical next step.
Yeah, what we failed on in our investigative stuff, we made up for with direct contact experience.
Now, Cecil is not here to assist unless you guys have an alternative method for Cecil to assist, assuming that Cecil would even assist in this case. Because
he would want to assist in figuring out how to stop this thing, for sure.
Okay. So, who's going to be leading this role?
So requires +2 in irrelevant social merits such as contacts, compact status, etc. And it's primarily an intelligence plus occult. So I feel it'd probably be Victor if anybody.
Yeah,
This is
I
fun.
I don't. I have intelligence plus occult is 5 for me.
3.
Victor is 6.
So
Though, if we do want to switch things up, Victor is pretty good at some of the secondary roles as well, with socialize and academics also being strong suits of his.
intelligence is not Vanessa's strong suit in the slightest. Very much relegated to a supporting role here.
I do see computer on there that I'm sure someone might want to jump
Yeah,
on.
I've got I've got 5 as an occult and intelligence as a primary. If Rick wanted to lead that, I'm not sure that. I mean, he would be willing to, but yeah, I could do resolve plus computer, and that turns that support role into
So,
7 and 9 again for my support role.
snap decision. Who's leading?
Victor.
That's
Hey,
fine by me.
what? With strength plus intimidation.
I feel like Victor is uniquely set up with his particular types of access at the manor and stuff to kind of take the lead on some of these as we feed him
Vanessa,
directives.
you're gonna use strength and intimidation? I heard?
Yes, one of the listed ones, yeah.
Okay. I have a follow-up on that.
Yes.
Who are you intimidating?
House, obviously.
Are
And
you
it straight up says in parentheses interrogation. So the strength and intimidation, you are interrogating somebody for this monster lore.
so,
Oh, we gotta visit that kid, yeah!
I knew that was coming. I knew it because it was the only thing that made sense.
Who can I go after? Yeah.
Rick is apathetic. I am happy.
If I recall, we got like an exceptional success or something. We have visiting rights to this kid.
Yes.
Yeah.
You have unsupervised visiting rights to this kid who everybody already thinks is insane and doesn't believe anything that he tells them.
How relieved is he gonna be that we actually believe him?
Probably not relieved when it's her.
He'll be very relieved for a very brief moment.
Yeah, exactly. So, okay,
Oh yeah, I'm good at this. Oh, yeah.
I'm gonna make a note.
So
Gotta make a note. Great.
I don't know if you'd have this count. But I have a specialization in intimidation and murderous glare.
Certainly that's gonna count.
Okay.
You're gonna
And,
walk into that
my-
room and just stare this poor kid down.
Yeah.
You want
I also have striking looks, batshit crazy. Is my striking looks.
You
What?
belong in that mental asylum. It might just
I
keep
love
Apply
that.
to this situation.
Problem's never getting in.
Yeah, it would. It would apply.
Okay. Oh, good. Double check strength reports. That's something. This.
Oh no. Does anybody else want to start rolling their stuff while Grog takes a moment to calculate bonuses that they're gonna get here?
Ooh, yeah, I get +2 bonus to intimidation rolls when I get to demonstrate my strength.
A bed's being broken. Got it.
Okay.
So gonna be resolved.
Five.
plus
I am making
computers,
so many notes.
9 again. And
What
then
is my
This is not gonna come back and haunt you guys. Not in the slightest.
3 successes for Rick on the resolve computer work to track down rare resources.
I'm
I
not
can
sure.
help with that.
I'm not sure how Cecil's going to be able to help with any of this while he's camping the house.
You have favors you can call in with manipulation and socialize? Because that's something you could do remotely.
It
What? That's 2 successes on Vanessa's part.
how
11
to
dice. What? Stronger than you. If I've succeeded a strength-based action, I get an extra success.
okay. So 2 successes, so that's a total of 5 on 11 dice. I can see the anger.
Yeah.
1 success. Hey,
Hooray! I'm helping.
No success is crap.
Nora, how are you
Can I-
wanting to help?
Yeah, can I roll investigation occult maybe, or investigation computer?
It would have to be an attribute, so it would be intelligence, or something like that. It looks like you're.
There's a resolve computer or a resolve investigation. It's the same one I did, helping to track down
Yeah.
rare resources and such.
Let's do that.
Okay.
Because they have what is it called? Specialization. It's just like investigation and like internet, I guess, dark web is what I put down. Does that add a modifier to my thing?
That gives you an extra die, yes.
Yeah, I think like open source research is kind of what you were gunning for there,
1 success.
basically.
So that's 5, 6, 7. So that's a total of 7 extra dice for Victor.
All right, I'll
Do that.
risk that willpower and give this a roll here. Intelligence and
7 dice on like a pool of like 35 with assets and specializations. That was horrible.
with 7. Okay.
This is kind of a obscure thing to try to track down.
All right, that's an exceptional
Nice.
success.
9.
So you, oh, this is an extended action. So hold on.
Total required successes equals twice the monster's potency.
It's already
Okay.
almost got it.
Yeah.
Plus a modifier between 0 and 5 based on the type and rarity.
Give me another roll.
Does
Yes.
everybody give him another roll for this?
I'm
or-
not gonna require it. It'll just be another roll for Victor here.
Keep the
With all-
same modifiers.
With all the
Yep.
same modifiers.
Yeah.
Okay, that saves us a lot of rolling.
Exactly. Exactly.
Yeah, I'll give it one more go here. 4 successes for a total of 13 thus far.
Okay, so that is double the monster's rank. So, for each successful roll within the extended action, the hunters learn 1 weakness of the creature, or 1 weakness the creature type in question generally possesses, 1 common dread power or other capability it has, or 1 piece of information where it comes from and how it came to be. Now, this isn't for a specific monster unless it's only one of its kind, and the primary actor gains informed regarding the monster type. Exceptional successes as a success, and the hunters learn 1 additional piece of information. They also learn whether a specific monster they are hunting follows the usual pattern or not, but it requires further investigation to find out how it differs.
All right, so I guess does it follow the usual pattern or not for its type, since that one's the off the top?
There
I feel like
is
this a
no
very,
other.
very unique thing. Yeah, there's no other, is there?
But this is a
Yeah, I don't know if this is necessarily your bog standard Japanese ghost.
Well, that also tells us, like, if we know that it's the one of its kind and there's not a usual pattern for it to follow, then we know the other stuff that we're getting is going to be specific.
Mm-hmm.
So
So you get
we get
three.
three,
Yep.
right? Yeah. I would assume weakness,
That's a given.
Yeah. Let's start there.
Okay, so starting there, I have a very important question, and probably for Mel's and James, somebody may need to explain this question to them. Do you want its Bane or its Ban?
Ooh.
Why don't we take 2 and do both?
All right. So, this research takes a while. One thing you find is some spiritual entities have a certain aversion to not digital, but old school analog photography. Especially those that are enhanced in certain means in order to contain said spirit within that piece of photography.
Like what? Flash photography?
Film rather than digital.
Most
Yeah, analog film.
most of these reference, oh, it's simple. You just need to inscribe a few runes on the inside of a Polaroid camera, and that'll do the trick.
Oh.
Okay.
Sounds like just my speed.
I feel like Nora's probably the one who found that little bit.
And did you say if that was the Ban or the Bane?
That would be the Ban. The Bane, especially since it seems to be a collection of entities forming one larger entity. One thing mentions that it creates somewhat of a harmful paradox to show a ghost a picture of itself, which obviously seems to tie directly into its ban, whatever. I hate that these words are so close.
Plans are forming.
So the ban is the ghost camera.
Yep. Capture a picture of it with an analog camera inscribed with the right runes.
And you guys have one more?
Could we, since we had 2 of us specifically looking up the tracking down rare resources, and both of us succeeded on that, is there a chance that we could leverage that to have found like an old copy of what the runes should look like, or maybe a camera that's already been fixed this way that we could attempt to acquire?
This is specifically regarding lore of the monster, so it would not be applicable for
Okay.
that.
Okay.
So, I gave you 2 weaknesses. That kind of leaves you with a common dread power or other capability, or information about where it comes from or how it came to be, which you kind of already know.
A couple of ideas on dread power too, but we don't know if we know. We obviously probably don't know everything.
So that's true. It might have some capacities that we haven't seen yet, or perhaps maybe we can find some sort of workaround to some of the other capacities that we have seen, devise some sort of countermeasure or something.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
So do we?
Do you want... So you're taking that?
That's my vote.
That'd be my vote as well. But if someone else has something they want, feel free to jump on that.
That's good enough for me.
Give me a number between 1 and 5, and I'll give you that dread power.
3.
Everybody good with 3?
Good as any other number.
Roll for it.
You know what? Change that to a 2.
Nope. Final answer.
2. Final answer. Dread attack. In other words, this thing is actually able to solely manifest its claws to attack. Physically. It might also explain the whole hooking and ripping out of what you can only assume was that child's soul.
Well, that sounds dangerous.
Yeah. Cecil. Roll me a perception check.
Uh-oh.
Hey.
And I do have trained observer for 9 again.
Excellent. Love to hear that.
Nothing on 7 dice.
Excellent. So, you don't notice anything. The only thing you do notice is an individual. You know. Her name is Maya. Bringing you your nightly meal, so to speak, since you've been sitting out here. She kind of plops down next to you. So, how long do you actually plan on staying out here?
As long as it takes to make sure no more kids get eaten.
I'm still... She kind of looks over at the house. No matter how many times you say that phrase, it doesn't get any less weird. I hope you realize that.
I watched it happen.
I have no reason to doubt you, but still. Has anybody came by today?
No, today's been peaceful, thankfully. Haven't had to make any scenes to keep people out of there.
She kind of looks over at the house and then back at you. So, I'm assuming that you guys are gonna go in?
If we are properly equipped, we might.
A small smirk comes across her face. How do you... Are you guys gonna be coming in with, like, gigantic backpacks with laser guns or something?
I wish. That
I might.
we also considered completely demolishing the house, but we also found out that that won't stop it. It will just find another place.
She kind of shivers a little bit. Obviously the thought kind of unnerving her a bit. Are you seriously okay with doing this? I mean, I know you don't tell me the full details, but from what I understand, it put you in the hospital.
For a week? Should have been a week anyway. I couldn't even tell you what happened. There were some strange things happening, and I got up into the rafters, and everything went black. I don't know.
That was a somewhat less skillful way of dodging what I asked you, though. Are you okay going back in there?
Cecil gets this, like, I don't want to say like lip quiver because that's like almost too cliche, but like he gets like this kind of almost reminiscent of deer in the headlights kind of a look going on his face, and like he very much does not look okay.
She puts her hand on your shoulder, on Cecil's shoulder.
And he takes one of those big, like, stealing yourself swallows. and like a deep breath, and no. No, I'm not okay with this, but it has to be done.
Does it? I mean, okay, obviously it does, but does it need to be you?
Every group of kids that goes into that house leads to the mystique of the place growing, and it draws more in. And if I tried to tell someone about this, they would think I'm insane.
She she gives somewhat of a smirk. Well, I mean, like she kind of gestures with her arms wide out. I mean, look at the type of life you're in. I mean, it is a little crazy.
Sometimes doing the right thing appears to be completely unstable.
She kind of leans forward, placing her head on her knees, and kind of looks up at you. Why do you... I know some of your relationship with your parents. I mean, why don't you just leave, though?
So, this is... It's a club, and it's a club that doesn't allow for loose ends. And if I told them I was leaving, or if I just walked out, I might not make it anywhere. And if I did somehow get away, I'd be looking over my shoulder for the rest of my life.
Don't think your friends would do that, though. I know the term friend might be somewhat loosely applied here.
They might not have a choice.
She kind of raises an eyebrow.
It's not the military, but when someone gives orders, you better follow through.
She kind of shrugs. I mean, from what I've seen on the outside, obviously I don't get past the gate, but she kind of chuckles to herself. It's just a country club. I mean,
So, you know all those people back home who effectively like ran the streets in their neighborhoods?
she kind of nods.
Imagine them having unimaginably large fortunes to buy whatever they wanted, from bodyguards to private detectives to literally anything. Having just unlimited resources to just throw away at a whim. And if I became that whim, there would be a whole world of money and everything that it could buy come crashing down on my head.
She kind of shrugs. Well, the offer always stands. I'm quite good at disappearing. There's
Yes,
always
we
the
are.
option.
I'm not trying to say it's a bad option, because trust me, I've considered it. But there are consequences just because of the circumstances of my birth.
She kind of looks up and she goes, I'm sorry, I'm gonna quote a movie here, and you may know the movie, you may not. But the circumstances of one's birth are irrelevant. It is what you choose to do with the gift of life.
It's very idealistic.
It's also very true, though.
No, whoever said that didn't have the parents that I have, and they don't understand the relevance that the parents that I have can have on one's life.
She kind of chuckles to herself. And I feel like that's a good point to leave that. Let us get back to the rest of the crew. Ignoring the failed perception check deliberately here. We'll find, as somebody would say, that'll become important later on.
I'm taking notes.
So, with your investigation into the lore of this creature finished, procurement of a Polaroid camera is not gonna even cause one of you to blink.
Which one of Nora's Polaroid cameras do we pick?
The Spice Girls one, obviously.
I think it might be in our best interest to bring a few just in case.
Those things break like very easily. I was gonna say very bad, but yeah, very easily.
Well,
My dad used to be a professional photographer in like the 90s, and he had to use those things. And the amount of swearing out here and like coming from the studio.
The question is the rune scribing.
Yeah, don't forget you got a doodle on those things.
Special doodles.
Very specific doodles, generally speaking.
What kind of doodles are we talking about here?
Runes, glyphs, sigils.
Yeah. Anybody can just write them down on and do it, or is it like a sort of ritual that needs to be done to?
We have gotten that information from investigating.
yeah.
There is no specific ritual, it's just the actual runes that matter.
They need to be right.
Yes.
So,
Anybody here do calligraphy?
who here knows someone or knows of someone somewhere that may possess information on which runes are right?
We probably got that information, right?
This was specifically towards knowing about the runes and the lore of the monster, so you wouldn't know who could do the runes.
Or what runes?
Oh, I thought that when you said we got the runes and the thing, I was like, cool, we have everything we need to catch this thing. Okay, cool.
Yeah, sorry.
So,
Just to clear the question, we do know what to transcribe. The matter is just transcribing it. Is that correct?
You know that runes are needed, you're not sure what runes.
Okay.
Ah,
Yeah.
Oh.
So could I do some digging on the company side to see if there are any of my kind of off-grid research labs that may have done this with weapons before? Now that we have like like a specific, like, hey, this is a very specific thing that we can do to capture this specific thing.
You know what? I will allow it. However, there's a little bit of a twist that I'm gonna do here.
Okay.
A dramatic failure or an exceptional success are gonna have a very specific consequence come up.
Okay. Yeah. So would this be? I would assume presence over manipulation, since I'm basically pushing down through subordinates in a company. They're the same, but regardless.
Yeah, if you want to go through it that way, yes.
And then would it be persuasion, socialite? What would I use to kind of try to figure out, or to make the calls, to call in and make the calls to find the right people who may or may not have that data?
This would be persuasion.
Okay.
So, are you gonna spend willpower?
Oh, absolutely.
Okay.
Is this directly enough involving the hunt to risk willpower, or would this still be a spending? Okay.
No, you're directly
Okay.
trying to find the correct runes and glyphs and sigils. This is
Okay.
directly related to the hunt.
I think, again, I don't know what I'm doing here. I don't know the system. I feel like 3 dice and 9 again are a good one, because persuasion is an asset skill, so that'll put me at 8 dice with 8 again. Does that sound like the good way to use those 2 different things from the... Nobody's contending.
Yeah, I think.
Yeah.
Okay, so
8
we'll
again
do
plus 3 dice.
8 again and a 3 dice modifier.
Yeah.
I don't think social engineering specialization would play here. I think that's not quite what's happening.
No, you're bludgeoning from the way you described it, essentially.
Yeah, and also, like, there's nobody here that's going to have the information that wouldn't give it to me if I asked. It's just a matter of finding out who may or may not have it, unless they're being underhanded with research I don't know about. All right, so if this rolls right, 2 successes.
Okay. Kind of disappointed by that. But
All right, me too. I wanted to know what the consequences were. I'm not going to lie. I mean, I had 10 dice on 8 again. I was hoping for better than 2.
If we want to hedge our bets, shall we say, with the option of multiple cameras, I think Victor would try and use that same time to try a more traditional approach, shall we say, considering that we're dealing with Japanese ghosts. Maybe checking out the local Buddhist temples and local, priests or Buddhist or Shinto, and assuming that those runes mentioned are likely some version of hiragana or some sort of script of the like. You try to fight Japanese ghosts with Japanese runes, shall we say.
all right, so you're essentially looking into okay, I've got a default to sending something to Mel's because I don't want to get this pronunciation wrong, not even remotely. This is not one of those things I would ever want to mispronounce, so.
There's got to be a few Shinto
Discord.
temples in London somewhere.
Yeah, there's
Oh,
At least one.
gotta be a few Shinto or Buddhist enclaves in London.
Yeah.
What is it? How is it?
Ofuda.
Ofuda. So go ahead and give me a roll.
Sure. Do you want something more akin to a social role, or more akin to an occult role, or How do you want to?
Since you're not necessarily doing the research yourself here, because I heard talk of going to Buddhist Shinto temples, this would be persuasion.
Yeah, sure. Let's do persuasion then. Manipulation, persuasion, I'm assuming?
Yes.
Yeah. Let's do that. Okay, persuasion, manipulation. I want to spend willpower. You know what?
Risk it, baby.
I am. Well, I did just risk the willpower on the monster lore. I don't know if you want to consider this the same scene for that.
No,
restriction.
because you're actually out on the town, so to speak, talking with Shinto and Buddhist wise men, priests.
Yeah, sure. Let's go ahead and risk that point of willpower then. I would probably go with the standard +3 and what are the other? Let's go 9 again. That sounds reasonable. Okay. Manipulation, persuasion, 9 again, and 3 dice.
Ooh.
Oh, 5 successes. I didn't even need to
Nice.
All right, with 5 successes.
I imagine Victor has some fruitful conversations with the local Buddhists, given his penchant for meditation. They probably have some common ground to mull over a bit.
Is that a risked willpower then?
Yes.
Okay, cool. Just keeping track.
Yes. So it was an exceptional success no matter what, essentially.
I don't think if risked willpower
Oh,
grants,
sorry.
it's
That's
the other
just for
way.
tactics.
We'll about it later.
Yeah. Anyways. So, you do learn about Ufuda. Basically, they are talismans made out of paper, wood, cloth, or metal. They usually have writing on them that allow them to be places of protection, usually around the shrine of a deity or the like, a kami, if you are so inclined. Basically, it allows it to consecrate an area. The older gentleman that you are speaking with, he actually even allows you to watch him create some, because the ones used at this particular temple are paper, so occasionally they need to be replaced. So he actually even teaches you how to do it, or at least allows you to watch. If you want, go ahead and do a... This would... Intelligence plus composure. To essentially attempt to memorize. I believe that's the memorization roll.
Yeah, that sounds about right. Yeah, sure. I won't spend the willpower. I think I have a decent chance. Yeah, 3 successes.
Well, you don't know necessarily what he's writing. You are fairly certain that you've committed the brushstrokes to memory. You're reasonably sure you can recreate it Whether or not you exactly know what it says is another matter. I don't believe Victor can read or speak Japanese.
Oh, no.
So, unfortunately, the meaning would be lost to an extent. Is anybody else doing anything during this time?
Rick will send Victor a message at some point kind of during this while I'm making my phone calls and he's kind of out and about. Just quick question to like, any luck, question mark?
Yes, of course. Victor will respond with what he's learned here. These Ufuda talismans, and that he may well be able to recreate them.
So I'll respond back and just say, my place then, I have an idea.
As for doing stuff, I think Vanessa's probably just gonna hit like a bunch of like camera shots and try to get some, film cameras and whatnot. I'll probably like bring Nora along or whatever, since she knows what she's probably doing for those.
Hell yeah!
We got plenty of spares.
Yeah, I would
Sorry.
I was gonna say, I'm assuming you probably hit nearly every camera shop within London and probably wiped them out, and it doesn't even scratch your guys' pocketbook.
Oh man, that black credit card. Oh.
She's buying half of them for herself.
Amex
I probably
wishes
get
I was poor
talked
enough
into
to use
buying
their
a
black
few
card.
like non-analog cameras that like Nora just plans on keeping for herself or something.
Vintage camera that you need the powder for. You find one of those.
Oh yeah, I would love that. Or the one that it's like a little black box and you have to look at it down here. Yeah, hell yeah! All the cameras, y'all. Yeah.
Nathan.
Nathan, on hearing or finding out that the anchor for this thing is the ritual itself, he's going to be busy buying all the components for the ritual. Perhaps they may not need to do this at the house. They could do this somewhere else and summon it wherever they want. So he'll start working on that.
All right. Sharp think.
If you're doing that, Rick will give you the suggestion. Say, hey, get some of the photos that Vanessa took. Get some still shots and some still screens from her video footage and stuff, and get some really big like banners printed. If we can sum it into a room, we can already have the room lined with banners, like big, like 20-foot by 40-foot banners that surround the walls that we can summon it into, and then everywhere it looks is itself.
So I think the stipulation on that was it had to be an analog.
Analog, I think, right?
Picture.
Polaroid,
it was
yeah.
the pictures of itself that you showed it had to also be analog.
Yeah,
That-
the ban was the aversion to analog. The bane was if it looks at a picture of itself, right?
Yeah,
But
yeah,
it
that was all
doesn't
we got on that.
specify if it's a digital picture of itself.
Okay.
Or a physical picture of itself.
For clarification, BAN loses part of itself when a picture is taken. BANE cannot be shown images of its corpus in a Polaroid. That's the
in a
clarification. That's
Okay.
the clarification, yes.
Okay.
I think there's actually probably a wonderful tactic for getting a picture of this thing called Expose that we could do, which is all about taking pictures of monsters.
And we already know who's going to lead that one.
I think we do.
Okay.
Okay, so I can buy, all the paper lanterns and mirror and whatnot we need. Do we need a venue?
Well, you need a place of 3 rooms as the game goes.
Not it.
Rick just nopes out.
We've already had a monster in my house once.
Same.
Okay. Yeah, Vanessa doesn't mind stepping up for this. I imagine a lot of her wealth is in real estate, and she probably has like a apartment, like a spare like apartment that's not being like currently rented out to anybody that she could like host a ghost in.
All right. So, your meetup text, Rick, was that to the group or just to Victor?
Just Victor.
Okay. So, realistically, this all wouldn't happen in the same day. We're talking about a 2 to 3 day time frame here. Probably culminating in Victor talking, schmoozing with the Shinto in the area and getting access to watch them make these.
Yeah, it would be after he had the access to watch, like when that bit happened. That's when Rick would be like, "Yeah, my place. I've got an idea."
So, with that being stated, I feel like this is a good time to do a little something. Rick. You have some downtime here.
Mm-hmm.
Not a lot's going on.
Mm-hmm.
Do you want to make that phone call?
Yeah. I imagine I'd probably visit during some of this. I don't know how much you want to go into right now.
Visiting the Deerfoot?
The what? Oh, yeah. So how much of the scene do we want to show now?
It's not going to come up until later, so...
Okay. There is just kind of this, a picture as the camera, it's these series of montages kind of mixed in with each other with these kind of slow fades and changes in music from kind of this high, peppy bit of activity with Vanessa and Nora going through the town, talking and cutting up and laughing and eating street food and kind of having a good time and camera shopping. And there's multiple scenes of that kind of meshed with these crossfades into this very down, very sullen, very sad shots of Cecil on the woods watching with intent and patience and a bit of probably fear, and then to Victor visiting these temples with another music change and stuff. And there's only the one of Rick making a couple of phone calls to a couple of different labs, and it's one of those where it's one of those shots where you see it's like the very beginning of the conversation, and once it's kind of immediate where the conversation is going, like the audio fades first and kind of turns to music before the camera cuts to somewhere else and onto somebody else's thing. But then when it comes back around to Rick, probably on like towards the end of day 1 or day 2, there's a scene of this kind of dirty, dingy bar that has now become slightly familiar to those who have been kind of taking it in. And there's kind of a wide shot of the bar itself, and that door to the back room that nobody's seen behind yet opens up, and Rick steps out, and there's kind of this look on his face. He's not happy at all, and you can also see that there's kind of this Gordian knot of emotions kind of rolling through him as he steps out and kind of takes a breath when nobody's watching, except for the camera, and just kind of recomposes himself, kind of shakes it off. And every other shot where like somebody's been drinking, Rick never does. There's always like a pint or like an ale or something nearby that he's holding, but he never really drinks it. And with the exception of the one time with the whiskey, that one shot of whiskey, and he walks to the bar and he just kind of walks himself behind the bar, gets a bottle of whiskey, turns it up, and takes a couple of big swigs and sets it down, and then walks out of the bar. And then the camera kind of fades back over into the next piece of the montage.
All right. So, with that, Victor, you have been called, messaged by Rick to stop by his place.
Indeed, yes. I suppose after I've concluded my business with the priests, I shall pay Rick a house visit and see what he has planned.
So you arrive. You're let in, of course, obviously, and your key card to his apartment, his penthouse door, buzzes in, and I'll kind of like, as I hear the buzz, I'll hit like the intercom, and I'll tell you to come upstairs, and I'll be. You know where the panic room is because we've hidden from a vampire there, and you know where the workshop is because we've experimented on people there. And there's kind of a room in between those that is a bit of an office, and there's multiple different computers. Each one, there's a couple with like 2 monitors, a couple with 4. There's a couple that have like the long screen turned vertical. You imagine for probably programming or something. And then, but he's sitting at one that is. It's got more of like a server rack kind of deal built into it to the side, like under the desk, and it's one big like 48-inch curved wide screen monitor. And he calls you over, and he's like, "We've got to get these runes correct on every one of them, right? Like it has to be right, or it doesn't work." So what I was thinking was. And you look and there's like a CAD program opened up. And he's like, let's replicate the runes in here between what I know and what you know. Let's get them perfect. And then when Nora and Vanessa get the cameras ready, we can have the runes laser etched into the cameras so that everyone is perfect and exact and identical, no mistakes. So I thought, between the 2 of us, we could get this right.
I see where you're coming from. I do think a certain element of precision is needed. My concern, though, does become the medium, shall we say. You know me, I am a bit of a traditionalist, shall we say? And I do think putting ink to paper, or plastic, I suppose in this case, would be more authentic, shall we say.
It needs to be inscribed, though, right? It said in the lore we found said it needed to be the runes needed to be inscribed. Or did your research beg to differ a little bit? Is there some optional rune there? Can we write it on a piece of paper and tuck it inside the camera somewhere? Or because I was thinking Nora could dismantle the camera and we could take like a piece from the camera and wood or metal and have it etched in and then reassemble the camera again.
It's plausible, perhaps. Traditionally, it's paper, wood, cloth, or metal with the appropriate hiragana inked onto the paper or the metal, or wood, what have you. And typically, these talismans are, shall we say, applied to something that the strips of paper perhaps affixed over a doorway or a gate or arch or something.
So what if we made little metal plates? We etched it into them, and then you went back over it with the ink, and then we bolted those inside of the camera. We make a perfect stencil. You put the ink on it. Then we have the authenticity of the applied ink. We have the perfection of the inscribed stencil, and it's also something additional that's been applied to the camera that Nora can add in.
That sounds reasonable.
Also, why did you fuck me on the werebear, Victor? Those people, the people I deal with, it's like screwing over somebody up in the Abbey. They got a lot of strings and a lot of places, and they don't mind pulling triggers on people when deals go bad. You put me in a spot, and you give me no heads up. I paid for good intel with invisible frickin' ink. I'd put Quinn's head on a platter to make up for it, but we need him in the field too bad.
My apologies. I've had to take some, shall we say, drastic measures to resolve things.
Yeah, they vanished after you asked to give me 3 days.
Indeed. Apparently they've done better than anticipated, shall we say?
Yeah, I had hooks in deep. They trashed everything. One of my guys found a cell phone in a dumpster a block away. It was cracked in half. There was nothing. They threw away everything and just left over the course of a couple of hours.
Well, glad to see they finally listened to me. But
why are you saving monsters and doing so in a way that screws people in your cell?
Yes. I have resolved this matter without resulting to further bloodshed, shall we say?
It isn't resolved.
Oh, I believe
I'm in a debt that I don't have a way to pay because of calls you made about a frickin' monster that has murdered people. I call the issue still open, Victor.
I don't think Jacob will be hurting anyone after this. You might say there's a certain fear of God that has been instilled in a man on the run.
I don't care about Jacob. I care about the problems this causes me. Jacob ate people. If his plane goes down on the way to wherever he's going, it doesn't bother me. I don't care. I care about the fact that he was a currency that got wiped out from under me because I trusted a cellmate.
Yes, human currency. How very
there's nothing
libertarian of you.
He wasn't human. He ate humans. Premeditated. Because a guy used to be mean to his wife, he ate them.
There is a certain nobility in protecting one's
fucking
loved
British nobility. Jesus Christ.
Yes. Now,
you've got a debt to pay off for me to make this right.
Now, let me get something straight. On the matter of Jacob, I cannot say that I wholly appreciated the man. Some of his qualities were less than endearing, but his soon-to-be wife, Miss Catherine, was an absolutely enchanting woman.
Go buy her a new house when a hunter kills the monster she's living
You
with. You
know as well as I that they would have gladly killed her in that same instance to get to him.
I wasn't paying Abby with him. These are different kinds of hunters. They're vicious, but they don't toy with things the way that Abby does. They're effective. They're efficient. They're American.
American, good God. That's exactly what we need more of. But I am not a man without principle, without honor. I have inconvenienced you, and I will make due effort to resolve this issue in
Just hope I don't get shot over this.
whatever means that I can. I'm sure you are smart enough to avoid that outcome.
Not all the people that I deal with are on my radar all the time. I deal with them because they're good. If everyone I dealt with was somebody I could keep track of all the time, they wouldn't be worth my time.
Yes, precious time.
Let's get these fucking runes right. I'll come back around to this later. And he kind of turns and is like, it turns and puts down a piece of paper that's like some of the research that he got faxed over to him. And it's like, let's start here. Show me what you've got. And starts just like completely dismisses the conversation and goes into the CAD and starts stretching out the stuff. And forming the letters and stuff for the inscriptions and the engravings.
So I'm not really that experienced with CAD, but from my understanding, it does take a little bit of time, a few hours.
It'll take some time. It'll take us a few hours for sure. Yeah.
So during this time, is anybody notified that things are coming to fruition and it's get together time, or is that still backburnered for now?
I'll probably message everybody and say that me and Victor are working on a way to inscribe the runes. And when we finish, we'll let everybody know where to meet us. And then be like, by the way, if anybody knows where a decent maker shop is with like a CNC machine or something, now's the time to perk up with an address or find it if we don't.
So with
I
that,
don't know what the fuck a maker shop is.
Vanessa,
Oh.
you've been buying the lanterns, getting the mirror. How exact? Go ahead and tell us about this little apartment of yours that you've chosen.
Honestly, it's probably nothing like special. Like this is like, she's like I imagine like a lot of her wealth and assets are like managed through like some sort of like company or like I don't know what the right term here is, but I think holding company comes to mind for me here. Mm-hmm. And just like a quick like search through like her like what assets, like physical assets that she has. She's like, nobody's like, the like tenant recently left, like the person that's holding this building for me hasn't like got anybody lined up for the room yet, like the apartment quite yet, and all I have to do is like make a few calls and pretty much like I've got like a set of keys to the apartment.
Okay. Now,
like all I have to do is like 3 rooms, right?
Yeah.
Because you're not American, can you clarify what you mean by apartment? Because over here, apartment is like a living space in a multifamily unit where there could be like 3 or 4 floors and multiple on every floor, and like the other side of a wall of your unrented apartment could be a family of 5.
Yeah, there could be 100 people in the same apartment
Probably like
building.
a block, most likely, but she might have like some townhouses that she could work with if she like really wanted like a separate building.
so as you're looking through your list of addresses, make me resolve plus composure.
No problem. 6 dice. 3 successes.
3 successes. As you're looking for a suitable place, which you do find, that's not what the roll's about. one of the addresses. Can't put your finger on it. But there's something about that address. For some reason, the street name, or maybe it's the number. You're not exactly sure what. But it means something.
Like, okay. Yeah. Is it currently inhabited? Like, do I have somebody renting that space?
Yes, it is currently inhabited. Seems to be a family of 4.
Okay.
Not.
Oh, sorry.
I was gonna say not anybody you've dealt with directly. Obviously, that's not you own the property, but you probably have a manager.
I got like a bunch of like middle people in between me and them. I've never met them.
Yeah,
like,
exactly.
No way. Yeah. Like they have like a landlord, and they're probably like have like some like manager above them, and it's like oh like.
Yes, exactly.
And like that manager might might know my CEO or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm like very hands off with my business. I pretty much just let it do what it does, and I just make money off that. Yeah. I will make a note of that address for now. But I'll check it up after this whole ghost stuff.
Of course.
Yeah.
So, Nora, your living situation with your grandma and Elizabeth that you've taken in has gotten somewhat cramped. Not because of the amount of people living here, but by the sheer amount of cameras you have now purchased. Some of them are not very easy to put away underneath a bed. Some of them take up a bit of space. As stated, the old-timey cameras especially are somewhat rigid in their construction. But with that, how exactly has these last few days been going for Nora?
I think I've been just reveling in all the new toys and cameras and trying to learn as much as possible about any of the ones that I don't know. And, you know, if I'm home all day studying this stuff, I'm enjoying quality time with Nana and with Elizabeth. I hope. Maybe I'm helping her look for a job in the meantime.
Obviously,
So
that being a little rough with her still being underage.
How old is she? 15?
I believe the note.
16, I think.
Yeah,
She was
16.
I think.
16? She can get a job.
She also has like a couple $100,000 on a prepaid card.
Yeah, but having a job builds character. She should have at least one crappy job at McDonald's or in a service industry.
Everybody needs to
Sound
wait
like
tables or work
that.
fast food at least once.
Yeah. It's a character building exercise. I'm her big sister now.
Now, I'm assuming you're also keeping track of your cameras.
Yeah, definitely. It's like on a permanent loop. Just like turned on like when people watched Big Brother, you know?
With that,
Nobody.
We watched Big
Not if I can help
Brother.
it.
I didn't watch Big Brother. So, with that being said, much to maybe your disappointment, but much to very much due to Cecil's constant vigilance, you haven't seen anybody come in or come out. However, that doesn't mean this place has been quiet. The entities have certainly taken notice of your cameras. Every so often, they seem to fog up completely.
Cool.
It has certainly taken notice. Occasionally, you will find that one of the cameras is completely blocked. Not as if covered by something, but all you see is what looks to be like a physical grayish blue forehead. And occasionally you'll get one of the red eyes to pop in frame, but it's very solid. It's not the translucentness that you would expect.
That's pretty dope.
Give me resolve plus composure, please.
One success.
You're
It's
given
not great.
You're given a start. You don't foresee any complications. It does give you a little bit of a fright when, quite literally, this eye narrows, and as you kind of shift in your seat, the eye follows you as you shift in your seat.
Oh, cool. That's some there's a horror movie. Yes, I'm in.
Nathan. What are you up to during this bit of downtime?
Well, I suppose I would have helped Vanessa look for a place to set up a bunch of those paper candle things and the mirrors and Googling 100 scary stories.
Writing them out?
Yeah, in case you all don't have anything off the top of your head.
Oh, shit, I should do some Googling.
All right. That's pretty simple. I don't see any reason to pick at anything there, unless I want to desperately have you list off 100 scary stories right here and now, which I don't particularly.
Nah, because I'll just Google it and start reading.
There's gotta be like a children's book of like 100 like ghost stories for children or something.
But yeah, there's I think it's called Scary Stories to Tell in the Dark. Made movies about them. They're amazing. Well, the books are anyway.
So,
Yeah, probably like buy a couple of those.
Quick
or
question. From what we got on the Ban and the Bane, the thing where if shown a picture of itself from a Polaroid camera, that's like that hurts it. And then you said it loses part of itself if a picture is taken of it. Would we take that to mean that we're trapping essences of it in the picture, like essentially like trapping it in these Polaroids that we then stack up?
that is your understanding of it.
Probably need that's gonna be a lot of pictures. I bet we need like a picture per person it's taken or something. Like we're splitting it off per picture.
It's we're removing what it has taken from other people, their souls or whatever.
Okay, that's a lot of camera work. Can we automate the trigger on these cameras somehow?
Generally with like film, there's like a lot of mechanical moving components to it that you have to like manually do. It's not just a button you press. You have to wind.
It's like very similar to a trigger on a firearm.
Do the pictures that we have to take also need to be Polaroids though?
It said analog. What about one of those old school real video cameras that takes
30 FPS
as fast as you can roll it?
Get like 10 frames per second on a.
Oh my god! Get like one of those like
developed.
VHS like cameras that your dad would get.
Yeah, like if we could get that and we could get like 10 frames per second and get a couple of them, then we're doing like a couple dozen shots.
But
like several dozen shots per round, essentially.
Those are images on film. Those are not pictures.
It's true. I guess it depends on what the spirit of the wording is.
Whereas the Polaroid is instantly a picture is made.
Yeah.
I say we experiment, try 'em all.
I mean, I can rig up a device to like one of these old school film cameras if we want, that basically just rotates the wheel, and we can set that up in the corner of one of the rooms that Vanessa has, and then I hit a button, Arduino board, servo motor, and it just starts spinning it and recording on old school analog film. But if that doesn't work, then we can still have cameras.
I feel like this is the point where everybody would be called to have the final discussion, either at Rick's or at the actual apartment that Vanessa has procured.
Yeah, it's probably like nothing special. Did Rick have a preference, like a townhouse or apartment?
If we discussed it, then the farther away from other people, the better.
That'd be difficult for Vanessa. I don't think she has like really like a lot of a lot of hers like
anything in the country.
Probably not anything in the country. I'm guessing.
At least a townhouse, something that's not sharing a wall with
she
another.
Could probably do that.
Family.
Yeah. Like probably like one of those like brick houses that like really, like long.
Just keep in mind, if we jack this up, it's now, instead of being an easy drive for a few thousand kids, it's an easy drive for anyone who lives in the London metro. So, you know, risks and all.
Well, they would have to figure that out, wouldn't they?
Yeah.
I'm sure Cecil's not necessarily enthused about heading back to London with the plan laid out before him.
Well, given that he hasn't noticed any immediate attempts of people to go into the house, it wouldn't be... He wouldn't like leaving, but at the same time, like, going to take care of it, like, we're going to go implement this plan right now, would be a reason that he would leave to go do it. Because it is, if we're pulling the ghost away from the house, then the house no longer is dangerous. So the sooner we get started, then the more likely it is that someone's not going to go in there and beat us to doing the ritual.
So with that, we are going to reconvene with everybody in the living room of Vanessa's unoccupied house.
Yeah, it's probably very barren. Like, there's probably like no furniture or anything in here. A lot of empty space. Hey, at least it's quick to get to.
As quick as anything in London is.
Yeah.
Now imagine just in the background we had the inscriptions done and everything.
Yes.
Yeah, we're like setting up cameras, bringing like lanterns, mirrors, just setting the space up.
And to make Cecil more easy, I can send a team out to that house in the middle of nowhere and just have them say, you know, nobody gets in, not even you guys.
Especially not you guys. I'm not paying that life insurance out.
Exactly.
So I'm assuming at this point, Nora is almost bouncing with excitement. Muted.
Definitely. Sorry, my cat was making a ruckus outside the door.
Cats be doing that.
So imagine we all have Polaroids, right? With a few different like cartridges we can swap for film. Rick would seriously have tried to like rig something to see if it worked. Like one of those old school like recording on the film at a higher rate of speed than what we could, but still very analog. and hooked up like a motor to the wheel and stuff where he could hit a button and start it spinning to see if that would work. I mean, it'd probably create negatives. I don't know, film.
So,
The negative would be of the film, yeah. So
Yeah.
question for everybody here. Whose number would be most likely known by the vast majority of Abbey members?
Victor,
Um,
probably.
Victor and Cecil have close family ties, and Rick is just, in their face about who he is, probably. So, definitely those three.
So, I feel like this is going to be more up Cecil's and Rick's alley than Victor's. Both of your phones ding with a message. It's an unknown number. However, one of the big things you notice, country code 1.
It's America.
It's the exact same message. It's not a group chat, though. It's a picture of people from the Abbey. You know the standard hunter pose where, they're holding the antler and the head's kind of lulled to the side?
Yeah.
It is a few cell members. You recognize them. They are part of the Black Royal that you are participating in. They are holding something that very much looks like a deer, except for its fur is completely white with red tinges around the eyes and nose. Its front legs are very humanoid, so it has shoulders going down into arms with very massive claws, and the back legs are bloody stumps. And just underneath of it, it has the caption, "Bagged ourselves a Wendigoon."
Whoa.
Why'd you have to kill it? ?
No response.
Are these guys part of the? I guess they're not part of the competition because they're not here in London, or is this a global thing?
They were definitely there, and they were one of the people that took papers.
Oh,
They went to America
they flew out to go
Yeah.
hunt a Wendigo. Okay.
Took my idea, international hunt.
Yeah. Interesting.
Rick, give me a... This would definitely be wits plus... we'll do wits plus composure here.
Who's that?
Rick.
Wits plus composure. One success.
With that, you feel like this is a taunt. You feel like they're probably not gonna respond. This was a just, ha ha ha, look at what we got. And you know for a fact all of these guys were British. So it is specifically targeted at you being an American as well.
Were they at the fox hunt,
To your
or were they gone already?
to your memory, you can't 100% be certain. You were kind of on the sidelines.
Gotcha.
And
I
with that,
I say, next time, try to do it without killing it, and everybody else can have some fun too, and like a little emoji of like a fox.
we are going to take our first break. We'll be back in 5 to 10. And we are back. So, how shall we go about this?
I feel like what we've done is a lot of work to set up a really good lure. Like that's kind of what we've that's a favorite tactic, and I feel like we just spent like the better part of half of a session and like a half a dozen scenes basically laying the foundation to be able to set up a really good lure.
Yep.
Followed by a capture, I think, with the cameras and stuff. Like the way, like I feel like we like everything plays into like executing those two tactics behind each other. All the prep work, all the everything.
So, who is going to take the lead on this lure?
Wits and composure is not bad for me at 5 dice.
I have 6.
All right.
I also have 6.
Cecil has 7.
I also have 7.
I feel maybe more purpose.
Yeah. Cecil with a higher dice pool and being already intimately familiar with this thing, I want Cecil. I feel like I want Cecil to lead it then.
But Cecil is also kind of traumatized from it.
There is a second. They have to have occult 2.
Yeah,
Anyone.
yeah, as
We
long
still
as
have people who don't have a cult too.
I read that as any actor needs a cult 2 for us to execute the thing. Not everybody who participates needs a cult 2.
That was my understanding.
Like
yeah, sorry,
requirements,
yeah.
any actor a cult 2. Yeah. And also, I only have a cult 1 so far.
Same here.
I have experience I can put into it. I just haven't decided if I'm gonna or not.
I mean, I don't think it's necessarily necessary.
Yeah.
It feels organic after the last couple of episodes, so.
So who wants to be bait? Because that's a requirement.
So
I do like bait.
I don't know exactly. I feel like bait maybe narratively is represented by like the person telling the most stories or that puts out the last candle or something.
yeah, that would be the bait, the last one.
Yeah. So presence and persuasion for me is 5 dice and 9 again.
That's
So
the
I
chance
could
die for me.
probably do the bait. That's actually my best pool in all of this.
Yeah, probably should do something else.
All right. So,
then we-
those that are assisting, I need your rolls.
We have to have somebody do
will
manipulation, right?
I will do manipulation and occult, and then
Okay.
I'll trigger my shaken condition and fail that beat.
Ah,
I can do. Dex larceny would be my highest roll, but I don't know how that would.
Yeah, you would need to explain how you're concealing the lure.
Yeah, exactly. Well, making it look like it's not actually a trap it's being summoned into.
Maybe the way you're helping Nora put the cameras in the right places, putting them in like,
Hiding them and.
or well, I mean, we're holding a lot of the cameras probably. I
So,
don't know.
Is that what you guys want to go with?
What?
The idea
Oh.
that you just stated.
I mean,
The lure
Maybe
and then the capture?
positioning the people that are using the that have the cameras as much as possible in places where we've got the most visibility and the fewest blind spots with the cameras, so that when it comes in, no matter where it comes in, we have the highest chance of putting the most number of cameras on it
I like that.
with dexterity and larceny. Less about concealing the lure and more about optimizing our capture methods.
Well, it would still need to be concealing the lure.
Yeah.
Because that's.
That's what
it
this is about.
Yeah.
I don't know then.
So,
I mean, was gonna say for concealing the lure, the trap, I suppose, we might be able to set some of our analog cameras on some sort of timer, like Spider-Man style, kind of like hide them like somewhere in the room to go off. That maybe an angle. I don't know.
I can do that.
All right. Don't roll.
Okay.
Automatic failure.
Oh.
Okay. So mine will be persuasion and presence. Can the secondary actors spend willpower? I know we can't
You can
risk
spend
it.
it, yes.
Yes.
We
You
can spend it. Okay, so I'm gonna spend a point of willpower. Persuasion. Presence.
Victor can help with the manipulation and occult, unless anyone else wants to.
Only one
jump in
for
on
me.
that.
Did somebody
yeah,
else say
I'll-
that they had 7 dice on the primary?
No,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nora.
Yeah,
So
me.
were you gonna lead or? I did.
I think it's between you and me, and you said you
Right.
didn't want to.
Well, I was just saying that Cecil has been traumatized by this thing, and Nora is like, "Oh yes, let's get it." So I maybe Nora wants to lead.
I think so.
Okay.
So we have a total of 2 successes.
Just one. Those
Oh,
both
sorry.
of those last rolls. That other one
Oh,
was
yeah,
from.
sorry.
Yeah.
So just 1 success so far.
8 dice.
Disappointing.
Freaking success.
I'll if there's no other contentions, Victor will be the second one to assist with manipulation and occult.
Okay.
And Cecil's best pool is the Dex and Larceny. And only 2 people can do the drawing target in.
Well,
So-
the other Dex and Larceny auto failed. So
Right. But we're limited to 2 drawing the target in and 2 concealing the lure
Mhm.
and the bait and then the primary actor. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That's all
Is it?
Cecil could do is trying to conceal the lure. So is that roll also going to auto fail?
Yes.
Fair enough.
Is what it is.
On that note, does that mean that that the Shaken can get thrown off because he's failing a roll regarding these ghosts?
Yeah. I'll allow it in this case.
So
He's
Nora
still
only
spooked.
gets 2 bonus dice.
It's still 9 dice.
But this is a favored tactic. So what is that? 8 again?
9.
Yeah.
Oh, is it 8?
Yeah, it's 8
Yeah.
again.
Okay.
And she's spending a willpower. No,
No.
that
Oh,
doesn't
she
get
has to
anything
risk
extra.
the
That's just
willpower.
risking the willpower just to do it, right?
So
Yeah.
it's 8 again.
It was 3, right?
No, +2. Oh, wait, yeah.
Yeah, plus 2.
Plus 2.
One from me, one from Victor because we rolled trash.
3
At least you
successes.
rolled.
All right.
Whew.
3 successes. So,
Here we go.
And here's where we point out that this is a
22
contested
dice,
roll.
and we got 5 successes on 8 and 9 agains. Just saying.
Yeah.
Rook
Here we
just said something very important.
Yes, contested.
Yeah, it's contested.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Wits
It's always
plus
contested.
composure plus potency.
All right, let's pack it up.
Wits,
We're heading north.
and
I put
because it's a spirit, it doesn't have wits or composure.
Our finesse.
Nope, it's finesse resistance. Because
Which are
composure.
both ridiculous.
They'd have like a 13 dice pool in each of those or something crazy stupid.
My goodness.
29 dice.
All right, so. Yeah, so it was actually, I already planned all this. I knew this is how this was going to go down.
We
So,
have gotten better than 11 successes before, but not with rolls like the ones we just had.
so. The last story is read. The last candle is blown out. And then nothing.
Little Jack corner, thinking pie.
Absolutely nothing. As you guys take photos,
Yep.
nothing.
Guys, I don't think it worked.
Well, that's lame.
Vanessa, can you check your feed from the house? Is it still there? Not Vanessa, Nora.
Say.
Yeah, I'll check.
There's nothing on your feed. A few moments later, complete blackness.
In which place?
Where you guys currently are.
Oh, we're blind.
Look, it did work. We just, not how we wanted it to. Great. Start taking pictures.
So when the camera's flashes go off, what happens with the flash?
Nothing. You
Hello?
even with, like literally, you can. I'm pretty sure somebody does it at one point. Points the camera at their face and hits the button, and there's no light.
Time to go, guys.
Go where? Can't see nothing. Where are you? Hands out.
Stay calm, everyone.
I was outside for this last time. Y'all need to tell me what
It's
happened.
less fun on this side. Oh, Cecil went to the hospital. That's what.
Oh.
You okay, Cecil?
Let's find out. Actually,
Are you conscious, Cecil?
Resolve plus composure, please. I was getting ready to ask for it.
got two. Okay. Okay, so Cecil will respond, but like small voice. He'll be like, "I'm here."
We do, guys.
Nathan is gonna try to remember where the door was and start walking in that direction.
All
What was the
right.
roll?
Now. So, as you begin to move, I need to look up a specific thing here. I've kept one dread power a secret for this very reason.
As he moves, he's saying, Marco!
Polo.
Marco!
Polo.
Oh my gosh.
As you begin to move through this place, it feels like your feet are sticking to the floor, like you're in ankle-deep mud almost. Anybody else that attempts to move feels the exact same thing.
I mean, yeah, I would be moving towards, not the door, but probably towards Cecil or Nathan.
Like going to the jungles in Nam.
You didn't go to Nam.
I mean, I went there, just I was a bit late.
And as you guys begin to try and feel your way around, everybody hears it again.
And turn that direction. Does it come from everywhere, or does it come from a specific direction?
It comes from everywhere.
Just gonna point the camera and click.
Just taking pictures.
Like every time I get a sense that it is, other than the blackness, every time I get a sense that it is paying attention to someone, I'm gonna point and shoot the camera.
So, now we're gonna do the next bit.
I'm picturing like a messenger bag on my side, just full of Polaroid film rolls for hot swapping.
So,
Or like a fanny pack or something.
there is something I need to be aware of real quick. There we go. Okay.
Don't you know, switching to your sidearm is quicker than reloading.
Plus the camera.
I do have quick draw.
Yeah.
Just has like 5 Polaroid cameras hanging from your neck. Just
Hot swap the camera instead of changing film. Yeah.
So, at this point, you do eventually hear a screeching sound. Something that sounds like pain. You're not sure where it came from or whose camera did it. But vision returns.
ha!
However, each one of you is surrounded on all sides as... Somebody give me an intelligence plus academics here.
All of us.
Alright.
Just one of us.
I can do that.
That's a chance die for me.
It's a die pool of 1.
Oh, poor Victor.
Nope.
That's actually a chance die for you.
Mm-hmm. Wow. Nice.
So,
I smarts.
Wait.
you dramatically fail that, or was that just a single die?
That was a single die. Oh, that was a chance die. Yeah.
You dramatically fail that. Vanessa can't count.
No, wait. I'm...
Hold still.
Vanessa has been headbutted a lot.
Rick and Victor, these rooms are now just full of extra bodies. Each room has to contain 50 people. And we're talking side by side. Sometimes people are phasing into each other. But just quick maths.
At least 2 people.
In case it does any good, and it'll only affect what's within its field of view if it works, but I'm gonna hit the button on that old school analog thing and see if it clears an area, if something happens, if there's a reaction to that. Now that the blackness, imagine I was sitting on it and taking the pictures, but once the blackness is gone, I'll hit the button and activate the little motor on it.
Roll me strength. No, roll me dexterity plus athletics. Specifically because most of these are material. So in other words, you've got bodies pressed against you. It's going to take a little bit of finagling.
Oh, are these standing bodies?
Yes.
Oh.
I'm gonna spend a willpower, because if this works, it's gonna be big. 2 successes.
Okay. You're able to hit the button. They all kind of look over at the new noise. And then they all look directly at you, Rick.
Look at the nearest one. It's like, I look at the nearest one. I was like,
Hey, cheese, motherfucker.
basically, yeah. I was trying to think of a way to. I've dropped so many f-bombs tonight. I was trying to think of a way to do it without doing it again, but I can't think of a good one.
So,
Yeah,
can I get your intelligence plus supernatural tolerance here? Which
What is a supernatural tolerance?
You don't
You
have
don't
any.
have
Just
one.
just
You're
intelligent.
human, you don't have one.
4.
Roll your intelligence.
This feels important, but if I spend willpower, we only have 3 willpower, right?
If you spend willpower, you only get 2 dice. So,
If this is a resisted,
It is a resistant. Contested,
Well,
yeah.
is it contested or resisted?
Contested.
Then it would be
3.
+3. If it's just a flat like die penalty to your opponent, then it's
My question is, do we have 3 of those or 4? Because for some reason I thought we had 3, but there's 4 boxes on the character sheet.
It depends on how, your resolve and composure.
Yeah, willpower is equal to resolve plus composure, basically.
Okay, so I have 4.
Yeah.
I'm gonna spend a willpower here then. That's number 3. 2 successes.
Jeez. What is that?
What did I bother for?
I've rolled that many dice and gotten 1 success, so. You feel this thing essentially peel back the layers of your mind. And it takes you back to a point in your life you don't ever want to remember. It's gonna show you essentially the day the curtain was pulled back for you. But your mind is completely clear on one fact. This thing made you watch as you pull the trigger on everybody but Nathan. You watch yourself execute your entire squad. You watch Nathan's face twist and contort with anger, watching you gun down every single member and leaving him alive. The words, "and nobody will ever believe you," escape your lips. Please take the traumatized tilt.
You'll see Rick just go catatonic. I don't know when that ends, but for now, that is how he is.
I'm gonna take out a digital camera, and I'm just gonna like look around with that in one hand, and I got like big old chunky film camera in the other, and try to find the ghost with my I guess like phone camera, since that seems to be able to like pick him up.
I mean, most of these are materialized. You can see them with your bare eyes.
Oh, is these guys the ghost?
Yes.
They're
Okay, cool.
all
I just
the
took a
ghosts.
picture.
With that, the one that was in center focus disappears. And with that, all of them look at you. I think this is the point where everybody, except for Rick, is going to roll willpower. Or not willpower, initiative.
Okay.
Okay.
Stop trying to find the traumatized tilt.
It's page 290 something.
Oops, I didn't put that on.
295.
Thank you.
All right.
I forgot to click my tracker
You
before I
wanna-
rolled.
Take out the turn tracker.
Oh, yeah, sorry. Sorry, I run on a reduced screen, so actually I didn't have the visibility to just click on it. There we go. Wait, did it show up?
I see it.
Yeah, I see.
Where is it?
I see it, but
There it is. Found it. You have to, yeah.
What is that?
It decided that that was what I was wanting the 34 for.
So I rolled before I clicked on my turn tracker. Should I roll again, or do you want to manually input my whopping 9?
Sorry, give me one moment.
Yeah, do you think?
Yeah, there we go. We all knew who was going first. Okay, so we have Vanessa at 13, Victor at 8.
I didn't get the lowest.
What are you?
I got 9.
At turn. Nathan, you got 9. Victor got 8. Nora, I need your niche.
It's 14.
She rolled 14.
Oh, sorry. I didn't realize everybody else had rolled before those guys. My bad.
How dare you be human?
Yeah, I make mistakes. And then Cecil got 17.
Unacceptable.
All
We
right.
need one more?
No, because Rick can't roll.
Oh, okay.
I go after everything else, no matter what.
Gotcha.
So,
The
Victor.
Rick
Oh.
roll.
Oh, no, it didn't do that right.
He did it. He did it. Don't worry, I won't let you down.
So it would be. I don't know why it did. Okay, I'll just manually fix it. There, it's
Okay, what is-
manually fixed. There we go. Cecil,
What did it
you
do?
are up.
So I think. Well. Oh, that still counts as an action. Okay. Well, I mean, I think Cecil, I think, is just gonna try to take a picture because that's the only thing that we like have concretely learned is that we need to take pictures of this thing. So he's gonna pop out that Polaroid and take a snap of
So we are
what's
gonna
in front of him.
we are gonna treat this as an actual attack roll because that's realistically what it is. That's gonna be dexterity. And Nora, what do you use for your photography?
You muted.
Muted.
Still
Nope.
muted.
Still muted.
There you go.
I will kill someone. You mean what I get for like the roll?
What are you
Skill
rolling?
wheel.
Yeah, what skill do you roll?
It's craft.
Dex plus craft.
Yeah, in this case, it's going to be Dex plus Craft.
Oh.
Unless you just want to take a random picture in a random direction. Like if you want to specifically target ghosts to remove them, give yourself a little bit more breathing room, give somebody else more breathing room. Yes. If you just want to take a picture, it's essentially minimum damage that this can do, which is 1 ag.
I mean, if he doesn't have crafts, and craft is mental, that's a -3 penalty, and so
I've also heard people use expression as a way of capturing bitches.
he's, but I mean, expression I think would be a little bit out of place because he's not trying to convey emotion with like an artistic piece. Like he's just trying to point and shoot. He's not trying to like
the technical aspects of executing the photography, not the artistic ones.
Yeah, he just wants to push the button while the camera's aimed at a ghost.
All right. So, as you do so, one of the ghosts vanishes. Nora. Now this is your role.
Go bread and butter.
Look at her putting her hair up. She's like, I got
Gonna
this.
risk some
Like, let's
willpower
do
on this
this.
one.
And I also have quick draw.
Your camera's
camera.
already out, so
He's got multiple.
Your camera's at the ready.
yeah.
Oh, so I don't get like a +1 for that?
Your camera's already out, so
What quick draw means
Quick
you
draw
don't
does
use
is-
action.
Normally, pulling out that item is an action. Quick draw lets you do it for free.
Cool. I also have a specialization in photography.
Oh, yeah.
Does that add dice for me?
yes, it
Yeah,
does.
it's one.
Yep.
Gotta get their good side.
And then, is crafts an asset skill for you? Probably.
I don't know what that means. I don't remember what that means.
Perfect.
I also have trained observer. Does that add another dice?
No, not trained observer. That's for perception.
Okay.
If the asset skill were chosen for your professional training, which your professional training was paparazzi, so I would assume that your crafts camera work would be an asset skill. So that's 9 again, or 8
Do
again.
you have professional training at 2 for 9 again?
Yes.
Yeah.
We all have professional training 1 dot. So
Yeah, but
everybody
1
should have
dot
some
doesn't give you
asset.
the 9 again.
What's your
There's a later
what-
tier. You know.
What is your professional training?
1. So I guess I don't have 9.
Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah.
It's relevant. Yeah.
Okay, then just give us your roll.
You want to risk willpower on that?
+1.
Nice.
So with that, there is a screeching sound so unholy that you're pretty sure all of London heard it. However, the area around Nora, as she kind of flicks the camera around and starts hitting that shutter button as fast as that finger can hit it, you literally see almost like a cleaving arc in front of her vanish. As these Polaroids start spitting out, roll me a perception check.
Just Nora? Or...
No, everybody.
Okay.
Ooh.
Not me.
Yeah. You're
I'm gonna fail
traumatized.
that one. Yeah, no, I'm gonna fail that.
And I would actually say Nora doesn't need a perception check here.
Well, I'm just gonna roll this still. 3.
So,
The best one, appropriately.
so
Next on the edge of craft to that one.
Vanessa, Nathan, Cecil, and Nora. As these Polaroids start flying out, they develop much quicker than they should.
Oh, good.
As they spit out, you can see the image clearly. You can see the image of the ghost swirling. So the pictures themselves are moving.
Cool.
Oh,
I
like from
This
the
is a
Harry,
beat
like
for
from
me.
Harry Potter, yeah.
Vanessa,
Yes. Oh, like.
same roll, or are you just gonna take the mend?
I will roll for this. It has to be cross, right? It can't go expression.
Expression doesn't, unless you're. It would be reduced. It wouldn't be nearly as effective because you're trying to line up, get a certain emotion out of a shot. It doesn't make a whole lot of sense in this context.
Okie dokie. We'll go with crafts here, and I will risk willpower on this, and I will go with a +3, and I will go with the one that increases my weapon's damage rating.
Okay. Yeah, all these have a weapon rating of 0.
Yeah. So. Ooh, dramatic failure. Ooh.
Oh my.
Can you do that for combat?
This is not a great place for that.
It is dramatic failure because I risked willpower.
Oh.
So what does dramatic failures in combat mean? That's
Something interesting happens.
I've never had that happen.
All right, you
What,
want
you know, dramatic failure in combat? What's wrong with
Really?
you? That's when most of them happen.
So, you know
this
what?
is a gun. I'd totally be shooting a teammate, but...
Yeah, it would be.
Oh.
However, let's have some
fun.
So, what a suggestion. Rick is currently traumatized in the middle of a psychotic break, living life in another place.
Oh, I
He's
get
seeing
him with the
himself-
flash.
Where I'm seeing myself do a thing I would have never done, but obviously seeing myself do it. Shooting my team, because loyalty's a Rick vice, like, or is there the Rick virtue?
Mhm.
So, but like, to him, this is real right now. Vanessa gets the Vanessa hits Rick with the flash, and in Rick's mind, where he's at, that to him looks like a movement or a muzzle flash in his like imaginative state, and Rick's gonna turn and take a shot at her.
I just realized I have the Vendetta condition, and that'd give me an extra 2 dice on this roll. I know we've already kind of rolled a bit. Would it be,
I mean, go ahead and roll the 2 dice. We'll see.
Okay. Yeah.
Exceptional
One
success.
success. Regular success.
Okay.
Okay. I'll take back that dramatic failure. Bye-bye, B.
Oh, Rick was
Oh.
gonna shoot you.
Yeah, I can float to that. I can hold that over you.
Along with getting run over by Rick's car.
Yeah, Rick, go way to shoot me.
Nathan.
Nathan.
Can I take that back? Can I let him shoot me?
Not anymore.
You don't want to get shot by Rick. He's got a lot of dice in that pool.
No unroll. Well, seeing this big swath that Nora opened, I guess Rick will not Rick, Nathan.
I was like, wait,
We'll
what?
try that. Hold on. Could I argue for a firearms roll instead?
No.
But I'm looking through and like, fine. I'll do crafts.
It's like targeting through a scope, right?
Exactly. That's what I was thinking. All right. So
They
Dex
do
craft.
call it point and shoot.
I should have rigged up some drones to like carry these cameras and shoot them from overhead.
You know, there, I have seen a camera mount at Best Buy, which is basically a stock, and you hold it up like that, and you take a picture.
If you had one of those, I would allow it.
Yeah, but I didn't say I did, so I don't have it.
Yep.
All right, Dex craft is still not a terrible roll. Exceptional success.
Oh, damn.
Ooh.
Yes.
Damn.
Point and shoot Nathan. That's what they call him.
Clicking heads.
As
Headshot.
as you, very similar to Nora, you're able to get a swath. The numbers in this room are much more manageable now. To the point where I'm gonna do something.
Uh-oh.
But it
Y'all
is
can't win that easy.
it is currently Victor's go.
Yeah, sure. I suppose I will make an attempt at photography.
Victor would probably benefit from this too, and I'm going to ask it on my turn anyway. Could an argument be made for intelligence in crafts for trying to like line up a shot that captures the most things versus trying to get the clearest picture, like trying to get the widest angle to catch the most stuff
This is dexterity.
versus like a rapid fire?
This, I specifically stated it. I will state it again. The only ones that are disappearing are the ones that are in center focus.
Okay, that makes sense.
I have nothing in crafts. So I suppose I will spend the willpower to try and mitigate that. And roll all of 2 dice. Straight dex. Hey, good.
That.
Not
All right.
bad, actually.
All right, so with those few images piling out, it speaks. We are Maelstrom. We will not stand for this. Nathan.
Oh. Because I got a exceptional.
You just thought those were good.
Blast.
Ooh. I'm gonna get sent thrown across the room, aren't I?
And
Is
I'm spending 2 points of essence.
Do I get defense and or armor?
Let me confirm that. I don't think defense. I think it classifies that as
That's basically a firearm.
yes. Let me confirm though. An entity may wound opponents at distance. Range is equal to 10 dots per yard of power. The entity does not suffer range penalties. If the activation roll succeeds, the blast wounds as a lethal weapon. The entity may increase the lethality of its blast by paying essence. Every 2 essence increases the weapon by 1 lethal. The maximum weapon bonus is equal to the creature's rank.
I'm not hearing.
I'm not hearing either.
It
Sounds like a gun.
specifically said lethal weapon, which sounds like armor would be effective against it.
Yeah, I will allow armor, but not defense.
Okay, I got 1 3. 1 general, 3 ballistic. Is that how it works?
Yes.
Kevlar vest.
Yeah.
I don't think this counts as a ballistic weapon.
Yeah, no, but the general armor is
General.
gonna.
Doesn't count as ballistic, but I can't apply defense.
It makes sense because it's a ghost throwing energy.
Magic.
Magic, bro. Magic.
Oh my goodness.
Oh dear God.
What is that?
The lethal rating was 2, right?
Is that?
That's
One.
That's a 10. That's a 10.
Lethal
So
ratings.
that's 11.
But that's 10 lethal.
10
11
damage.
lethal.
What do you? That sounds like
You gotta beat.
That's. I have 7 HP, so.
You're alive! Congratulations!
You're bleeding out.
And you're the medic.
2, 3, 4, 5,
Live.
6, 7,
I'm pretty sure
8, 9, 10, 11. I had 3 more bashing and I'm done.
And at this point, Rick, you see in your memory this creature just. It happens simultaneously in real time and in your memory. This creature just drill Nathan.
I imagine like
Wait, 1 armor, so sorry, 4 bashing left.
I was gonna say you have.
like
Yeah.
in memory, Rick is turning the gun on this creature, but in reality, what's happening is he's turning the camera because that's what's in his hand, and taking the pictures. He thinks he's shooting at this thing somewhere in the Kandahar region, but in the room he's turning and hitting the camera.
I will allow that. I think Traumatized specifically states you're not allowed to do anything, but
Nope. It's I actually get +1 bonus to all combat rolls, but I take actions after everyone else, and I cannot spend willpower, and I get -3 to all social rolls.
okay.
So I actually get a bonus of 2 because I also have a specialty in crafts.
Which is specialty?
I don't think your specialty is photography.
Gadgets, specialty gadgets. Actually, yes, you're right.
Yeah, nah.
So just one for the thing. 2 successes. And it'll probably be focused on whichever ones are closest to Nathan, because like in his like psychotic break, he thinks he's shooting at the thing that's hitting Nathan, so he's turning his focus to the ones that are the closest to him.
Now, I'm going to do that again. So, Cecil,
Ooh.
you see Nathan go down.
It's blasted across the room.
Yeah.
Oh, that's what happened to me.
Nope. We didn't see you go flying. You just slumped and fell.
We didn't see you fall at all, so.
He doesn't know that.
True.
Also, as you kind of look about the room, it has cleared out massively. And right now, the one that Nora saw with the very long fingers is hovering over Nathan.
That would have been the one I was whatever's the one's closest to him. I don't know what that matters, but
Oh, well,
Well-
he got blasted across the room. It was not the one closest to him originally.
okay.
Well, now is the time to risk a willpower.
Are you leading the capture here?
What's that? No, Nora is.
Whose turn is it?
It's the beginning of the turn, so Cecil's. If we're gonna
We went through a full round of combat,
Yeah.
and now we're going to try to do our tactic.
Okay.
Before the tactic, I should roll to stay awake.
No,
Uh-huh.
you're full and lethal. You go automatically unconscious.
Nope.
They changed that in
Yep.
100 to be.
I posted
What?
it in the channel.
If your character's rightmost health box is filled with bashing or lethal damage, roll their stamina every turn as a reflexive action. Failure means they fall unconscious and their rightmost health box is hit.
So would I do that now or?
Every turn.
Yes.
Well, because it's not my turn yet. That's what I was
It's
confused. on.
turn, not round. So it'll be. I assume that's on your turn.
But you guys are starting a tactic now,
A new
right?
round. Yeah.
Yeah, so we have to.
A tactic is a
we-
group thing. I would be included in that. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I
Yeah.
guess roll it. GM.
I'm just
Storyteller?
going. Yeah, storyteller decision there. I'm asking.
Yeah, go ahead. Roll.
Okay. I'll do it as a simple roll because otherwise it's just going to take the wound penalty out. And he's down.
Good night, sweet prince.
Oh my.
He just kind of, after he hits the wall, he just kind of slumps down.
So if we're doing a tactic, I guess we all delay till Victor's turn, and that's when we do it.
Nora's leading it.
No, we have to make sure everybody's acting at the same time with the tactic. That's like in the rules. So
I
basically,
mean,
just like it
technically,
doesn't really matter since
We're
all
all
of us go.
before it.
Well,
Yeah, it's
yeah.
irrelevant.
I go after everybody.
Except for me.
I'm last in the order.
so this would be the time to start the tactic. Is essentially what I'm
Okay.
saying here.
Yeah.
Okay, dokie. What can I help with?
Good luck, everyone else.
So the normal tactic has like wits and athletics for cornering and strength and brawl for wrestling because this is more for
I will help with strength and brawl. Yeah.
well like this is more for like pulling a corporeal thing down so that you can tie it up and all. So I feel like maybe we have some room for some like creative alternative roles here since this is a
Well,
ghost.
So-
it's material to us right now. We can grab it.
They are solid now.
Yeah. I can punch
Are they all solid? He also described them like
Yeah.
phasing in and out and stuff, so I wasn't sure.
Some of them were, but as the room emptied, they did start. All of them took solid form as the room emptied. It seemed like the only reason they weren't materialized was like,
There's no room.
yeah,
Okay.
they flat out couldn't.
There was a queue.
So the primary is dexterity plus survival or crafts. The secondary is either wits and athletics or strength and brawl.
Cecil cannot lead this due to lacking both crafts and survival.
I
I think Nora should
think
lead
Nora
with
should lead it.
the crafts.
I can't lead it because I can't do anything with willpower. I'm still traumatized, so I can't. I don't have it. I can't do the thing.
Yeah, I don't think Nora. I think Nora's the only one that hasn't risked willpower. So-
Victor hasn't yet, but that's
Cecil also
irrelevant for
hasn't,
this.
Yeah, Nora's the right one for the job.
Oh,
Yeah.
Nora, save me.
All right. I will help by rounding them up by wrestling them. Strength plus brawl. With my-
I will do wits and athletics for cornering.
Yes.
Would
need
my,
That's a really good pool for me.
would my specialty in grappling apply to like this? Since
Yes.
I'm rounding them up, grabbing them. Okay, cool. I'll roll this. And I have 9 again on this because it's an asset skill for me, and I'll just use the regular.
One success for Rick.
Cecil's gonna spend a willpower on this one.
I wished I could have.
That is 5 successes on me.
Damn, Vanessa.
6.
Wait. Okay, so Cecil failed.
Wow.
But I'm gonna use the informed and make that into a single success.
Get the informed condition for this.
Oh, well, it says it can't be used on combat. It says it could be used on a skill roll.
No, when did we get the informed condition against the house?
Victor
I
was
know we got
the
against.
when we
Victor
did the
was
monster lore.
He got-
The leader.
is just for the primary actor.
Oh, well, never mind then. So I just get 0.
Yeah.
Sad face.
But Nora gets 6 bonus dice.
Yeah.
Okay,
Victor can assist with the cornering unless we've already hit the cap.
I don't
That's
think
3.
so. The cap is 3, and I think I was the only. I think it was just me and Cecil.
Yeah, so you're part of it. Because
Because Vanessa did strength and brawl.
she wants to wrestle it.
Yeah, I'm tired of this thing being incorporated.
Imagine the rest of us are like using our cameras to like push them in directions, like threatening them with shots to kind of get them all bunched up.
And I like to shoulder tackle one of them, and they'll collapse into a group.
You face butt a ghost into reconstructive surgery in the hospital.
So that's crafts versus dexterity or strength plus athletics. Ooh.
Was Victor gonna do a thing?
Yeah. What was it again?
It's wits and athletics for the cornering.
Wits and athletics. Yeah, I can give that a
Picture
Let's-
Victor as an extremely
Okay.
athletic individual.
Unless you want to manhandle it.
reasonably. Victor's skill is more with blade than it is with bludgeon, shall we say. Victor will use wits and athletics. Can I spend willpower? Yeah, why not? Now is the time, yes. To commit.
Hey.
7. So
Yep.
7 bonus dice
Dice.
to Nora.
7 bonus die.
And I roll wits crafts.
Oh.
What
Dexterity.
is the capture?
It's
Dex crafts.
yes.
Dex crack. Yeah.
Dex crafts, yeah.
Plus 7 die. And then
And then we're
What-
8 again, because this is a favored tactic.
and then I want to risk a willpower. I can do that, right?
You have to.
You
risk
have
the
to.
willpower.
It's already-
Risking the willpower is what lets us do this. Is you,
Oh,
risk it,
okay,
you don't
okay.
get any bonuses from it. We just get to do this.
Cool. I
But-
have never
but you
had to
are-
do it before in this game, so.
But you are 8 again.
Yeah.
And then plus 7 dice.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
9. That's good.
Nice.
Not bad. All right, but let's see.
Look at all those green. Oh god, it's so pretty.
And then, what is
Oh
that?
my.
Oh, what is that? Wow.
But I think
How did the dice pool get so small?
Well, we
The
killed
horde.
several of them.
Oh, we weakened it.
Mm-hmm.
Did you not add the finesse though?
It's he dropped stats because we weakened it with the first round.
Yeah.
It wouldn't be finesse in this case.
The resistance.
It's a
Or-
physical skill.
So just power. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, it
Yeah,
would
it's
just
dex or strength plus athletics or brawl plus potency. So
It's
It
po-
just ends up with potency, right?
and power.
And power, yeah. So that's an exceptional success.
This last photo. I mean, I know Grog's up there looking. Do you just want me to roll finesse?
No, that's fine. No, it's fine. I'm like, yeah, I was just confused.
No.
He's like me. He just likes to understand.
There you go.
Not necessarily repose.
There you go. There's the finesse.
Whatever you want to do. I don't think it's going to change anything.
Yeah, no.
Still an exceptional success.
Yeah, there was no way it was resisting this. This last picture you take, Nora, you're able to get the entire group. As this Polaroid flips out, you can legitimately see the main figure with long fingers in the center as all these other faces, probably about 10 or 20, swirl around him, kind of like the rings of Saturn. And they, slowly rotate like this, as they go around him.
This is so cool.
However, I feel like somebody's gonna take a point of lethal damage here.
Every minute.
Every minute.
Well, so
Yeah.
I was kind of waiting for like the go ahead of it, like the ghosts all like disappear. Like what? So she takes this picture and she so the picture looks really cool, but like, what does the room look like now?
It's empty. Just
You gotta get-
So Cecil goes straight to Nathan.
Yeah, we carried a Nathan. Yeah,
Does anybody have medicine
Yeah.
I
other
do.
than Nathan?
I do.
Can I
got
offer
4 dice.
Can I offer support to somebody in some way?
it would.
I think like how we do with that.
Can I do like
We turn it into a tactic.
You have medicine is the big pot.
I don't know how supporting another another
You need
actor
the same
works
skill.
like-
Yeah.
yeah, you need the same
Uh,
skill.
You can just do a standard teamwork action.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, Cecil, what's your dice pool for Cecil?
5.
Medicine. All right, I'll help you. All right, you get 2 extra dice.
I'm used to being the opposite. Like you have to use specifically a different skill that is narratively justified to help them improve their chance on
I don't know
that.
how there's much skill. What skill could help with somebody in first aid?
Is there
I can
is
think
there
of,
anybody else helping?
I don't think anybody else has medicine.
I don't have
Okay.
medicine, but I have enough intelligence that even with the -3, I have a dot.
You can.
Well,
I mean,
is this going to be more of a dex-based pool, considering it's?
It's
I
for
actually
first aid.
checked the rules, and for first aid, it is dexterity.
Yep.
Oh no, I'm not
And
helping.
that's what I was banking on, was that like this is immediate rapid first aid, so
Yeah.
it's going to be a dex plus medicine.
Yes.
It's about like bandaging like the wound immediately, keeping the blood in as much as possible, resuscitating that heart. It's all about speed.
Nope, not helping.
So Cecil's going to spend a willpower on this too, because nobody's going to die on his watch.
I don't want to die.
Right. And it's a damn
Hey!
good thing I did too.
Just
Wow. It's
That
one of the
success
last-
came on the very end.
Yeah. Okay, willpower.
Jeez.
I imagine the reason Rick's not helping is because when all this stuff fades, he just kind of falls back against the wall and slumps down into the floor.
Now he's got to
just kinda
process.
holding his head.
Yeah, now he's got to process that it wasn't real.
Well,
Yeah, and that's what he's doing instead of helping.
yeah, he just had a fake flashback of killing the entire team, and now Nathan is on the ground bleeding.
Yeah, I picture he's just like so overwhelmed that he just hits the wall, slumps to the ground, and is just kind of doing like the head and the temples, shaking his head.
Somebody pull the car right next to the front door.
Also, whoever leaves to go do that, as they get ready to go leave, Nathan's cell phone goes off.
Question.
I mean,
While go ahead.
it's like being that Cecil's got his hands on Nathan at the moment. That might be Cecil grabbing that phone and opening it.
Chloe.
Quick question. While they're handling him, can I do my resolve plus composure to try to pull myself back together? I think it ends at the end of the scene anyway, but I picture like that's what he's doing.
Yeah.
Can Victor help with that, with empathy?
Yes, actually, go ahead and give me your... It'd be wits plus empathy, if I'm not mistaken.
Could do more presence and empathy as like the guiding sort of,
That feels right.
figure
Okay.
trying to pull him out of this slump. That kind of gentle presence of being that emotional rock to pull one.
Feel better. Slap.
I'm here. It's okay.
And Cecil's gonna, without answering the call, he's gonna underhand the phone to Nora. like he underhand
It's a
toss.
message, not a-
That
Is
is
it a
the
call or
worst
a message?
decision of the entire night, and we just fought a ghost.
Cecil's a little bit busy right now, making sure Nathan doesn't bleed out.
I feel like that's important. Hello. It's me.
Nathan's phone.
Where's my dad? I had a really tough day at physical therapy, and I really wanted to talk to him.
Oh, your dad is in the bathroom right now. I can have him call you back when he comes out. Is that okay? I'm so sorry you had a tough day, though.
Why would he not have his phone with him?
Oh, I think he read an article in a magazine that said that you have to spend less time in the bathroom, otherwise you get hemorrhoids. And I feel like that it was a big concern. So he left his phone outside of the bathroom.
While this conversation's going on,
Yes.
Vanessa's like digging through her things, like and she's like finally found something, and it's like a shot of adrenaline. she wants to use to wake up Nathan.
All right, so
Beep.
before we
Okay, so you say that this was a bad decision, right? But Rick is traumatized and trying to come out of it. Victor's trying to help him come out of it. Nathan himself is unconscious, and I'm not giving the phone to Vanessa. The only,
You had
choice I
good
had-
options.
only choice Cecil had was to give it to Nora.
Fine, put it in your pocket.
I did a pretty good job. I don't know why you're giving me so much shade, Rick. Like, live your
Yeah.
life.
What do you expected it to?
What did you ever do to me?
So, with that, that did not seem to go over quite the way you would have wanted it, Victor. Rick is still... He has that look on him.
I imagine right now, the last few days considered, Victor's voice was not welcome.
You're the last person I want to hear that from.
That's a fair point.
I seriously almost deducted his successes from my dice pool, and I was like, that's not how the rules work. I can't just do that, but I almost did it. So, but I rolled 0 successes anyway. So,
Would you like to make that a dramatic failure?
Just
Yes.
like that. Yes.
Oh my.
yes, that's I don't know this system. I don't know what I can do. Yes.
You can make it worse.
Grog is happy.
I think the
How does this work? What happens?
I'm looking at
Something bad happens.
I'm looking
Do I
at
shoot Victor?
I'm looking at 2 specific
Do you want to tell me, or do you want to message me and me give feedback?
No. I am gonna go for demoralized.
I don't know what this means.
Your character is shaken by the harsh realities of the Vigil and hesitates in the face of the enemy. Spending willpower only adds 1 die to the pool rather than the 3 if you were to take an action against the monster, and you cannot risk willpower at all.
Ooh.
Take
No,
a
-4 to initiative.
-4 initiative and -2 penalty on contested rolls. Because the one person that honestly you couldn't even look at right now is the one that is trying to comfort you. And that hurts.
I'm down. I like it.
None of the others came to you. Like the elf went to Nathan, who got hurt.
Well, I don't even really know Nathan's hurt at the moment. Like that hasn't processed yet.
So,
Page, what is that? 296. Yeah.
so
That's right.
Put the page in my notes for easy reference.
with that, Nora, you hung up the phone. She's calling
Yep.
back.
Hello.
Oh, why'd you hang up on me?
I told you, girl, I'm sorry you had a bad day. Your dad's kind of busy right now. He will call you as soon as he can, okay?
Like, could you at least tell him, right now?
He's in the bathroom. I don't do the bathroom door talk. It is very awkward for everyone involved.
You hear an very, very exasperated sigh, what? Something's wrong. Something's gotta be wrong. What's wrong?
Ugh. Nothing's wrong. Your dad's taking a dump. I gotta go, okay? I'm kind of busy.
Roll me manipulation plus subterfuge here.
God.
Am I coming along?
This is why I don't have children.
Look, I'm child free, and that was a choice, okay?
100%. Child free since '93. All right. Let's see. 1 success.
Why is there dexterity in there?
I don't know. I thought it didn't. It unclicked it. Let's try it again.
Yeah, it doesn't automatically take stuff off.
Ugh. Boo. Oh, why am I still holding my?
If it helps, the success didn't come from the first 3 dice, which is what the dexterity were. But we're just re-roll.
2
Get
success.
even better.
Whee!
Now, we've determined it's subterfuge to detect lies, right?
That's
Yes.
empathy. or
Subterfuge or empathy, either
Both work,
one.
okay. It's gonna be the
knowing
same.
a lie or just being true.
I thought subterfuge was to lie and empathy was to see if someone was lying.
But people who know
Subterfuge-
how to lie can also spot liars.
Yes, it takes one to know one.
Oh, that makes sense.
Yeah, I use subterfuge to detect lies.
You hear a very groaning sigh come from the other line. Fine, I'll call back in another 5 minutes. And the line goes
She's
dead.
sitting in the bathroom normally.
Okay, then I'll hang up and then I'll turn the phone off.
How am I going along
Fine.
with that adrenaline?
I won't turn the
rush?
phone off. I'll just put it on silent so it's not giving me anxiety every time it rings.
I would say you go ahead and give me your dex. This would be dex medicine, I would think.
Who?
I'll spend willpower on this.
Vanessa.
I'd be straight like that scene right out of Pulp Fiction. Hey, 3 successes.
You don't hit
Hey,
anything unintentional. You hit
I
exactly.
managed to pierce the bone, get to the heart, straight there.
Nathan,
Uh-huh.
You
you're
got a giant needle in your chest.
you're awake with a giant needle in your chest.
Oh! What? That's not even the most immediate part of the pain he feels. That's just one of many things that he's hurting from.
And where's your kit?
What? Ow!
Where's your morphine?
I don't. He's too much pain to remember. Probably in his bag. Just
Okay, well, Cecil's
can't
gonna
move
like
my arm.
quick delegate and be like, take care of him. I'm gonna go get the car.
Oh, it hurts so bad.
Rick just like stands up and just like shoves Victor away, and starts walking towards the door. He's just headed downstairs.
Meanwhile, we're gonna take a little bit of a detour here. I'm gonna go on a little bit of a GM rampage here.
Ooh.
So, same night that all this is going down, that everybody is currently dealing with ghosts and pretending they're Ghostbusters. The scene is the Delacroix family manor. 3 masked individuals have made it to the property. The words going through their head are, take what you are owed. Don't mess with the dining room. And don't trash it too much. The 3 very skillfully disable the alarm systems. And roughly after about an hour, leave. Multitudes of sacks with them. And that, I think, is a good stopping point for this session. We will see everybody next week.